AITA for refusing to take in my orphan nephews and niece. My sister who is 33 and her husband who's 36 passed away not too long ago, leaving behind their 3 children, male 14, male 12, and female 8. We live in a pretty small town of under 2,000 people, and their deaths kind of shocked the community. Everyone is talking about it. Their memorials were up in the grocery store the day after they passed. Another thing is everyone is wondering what will happen to their kids, and the expectation seems to be that I will take them in. My circumstances: I am male 23, I am single and have no kids of my own. I have no income, and live off student loans while going to university in the next town over, getting my bachelor's. I live in a mobile home in a trailer park. It's a 40-feet trailer, but still only a 1-bedroom. I own it, but I pay rent on the land it's on. My main reason for not taking them in is that I don't want to. I don't want kids of my own, and I don't think I'm in a place to take care of them. I've been told that money has been put aside to help, so I wouldn't be keeping us all alive off my loans, but it's only partly about the money. It's about not having the space they need, interrupting my studies to take care of them, and suddenly becoming the caregiver of 3 humans all on my own. It's a big job that I don't feel I measure up to. I was posed the question by my parents. They in a different country and can't help, and the kids want to stay here anyway. Friends of my sister's family all have children of their own, usually in batches of 2 to 3 themselves, and can't afford to take more on either. They say I should do it because I don't have kids already. It'll be good practice for my future children. It's my duty to my flesh and blood. I'm young, the kids need me and don't have anywhere else to go. I told my parents that they can crash on my living room furniture for a while, until other arrangements are made for them, but I won't be able to take care of them permanently. My parents think I'm an idiot for refusing. My sister and brother-in-law's friends think I'm an idiot. Even some of my friends think I'm in the wrong. Word has started to spread around town that I'm an idiot. People have come up to me to tell me what they think of me for refusing to take in my nephews and niece. Worse, the kids think I'm an idiot for abandoning them. I've been told horror stories about the foster care system and told that I'm giving them up to it, that they'll be separated, we'll lose them and never get them back, and that I'm a monster for not doing it, that I am selfish, they're ashamed of me. My mother told me that if I don't take them, they'll have nothing more to do with me because of how horrified they are. It seems harsh. Part of me feels like I don't deserve to be told these things just because I don't want to. I'm not able to take care of these kids. The other part agrees with them. Have I been the idiot in this situation? Edit. I sat down and ran the numbers about my finances, and this is what I come up with, for anyone interested. The amount of money left behind to help raise them is 25,000 Canadian dollars, and I think that's around 19k USD. I don't think it would be possible to raise 3 kids to 18 on that amount, especially not because one of them will be 10 years away. I would need to supplement that with a job, definitely. But I am 3 years into my bachelor's and have accumulated quite a lot of debt that I would also need to pay off if I stop going to school. As for my student loans, I will break down those finances. After my tuition is paid, I am left with about 8k for the time school is on and the break month in between semesters. My rent for this plot is 550, so of that 8k, 2k goes to rent every 4 months, leaving me 6k to buy food, gas, insurance, etc. All told I have 8k a year to purchase needs. I don't know if this matters, but the poverty line for families with 2 adults and 2 children is 30k Canadian dollars. Obviously, with 1 adult and 3 children, still 4 people, at 8k to work with, is well below poverty. Because of all that, and all of your guys' responses, I have tentatively figured I am not the idiot. My plan going forward will be to try and sit down with the kids, at least the oldest, and talk to him about my finances to hopefully show him that it's not because I don't care about him and his siblings that I don't take him, but because there is no chance they will have a good life with me as their guardian. I will also tell my parents all about my finances. Hopefully, if they see the resources I have available, they will stop on this crusade to get me to take them in and accept that they will need to step in if they want the kids to stay together. I feel like even if I tried to take them, the government would just take them away anyway. Also, while I was out, someone keyed the poop out of my car, lol, so I think I will have to move if people don't calm down. Update. So, almost a month later. You probably will not be proud, as I am not proud either, but this is what has happened. I withdrew completely from all discussion of the kids unless I was reached out to by someone. Usually my parents. Talking to them was pretty hopeless. Some of their favorite talking points were, you can put your school aside and pick it up when they've moved out. It's only 10 years. It doesn't matter that you don't want children. It's not your choice to make. You're not a man if you don't help these kids. It's your responsibility to the children and to your sister. The children will go to foster care and be split up, and that is your fault. They dodged all discussion of finances by saying that either my student loans will cover it, or I'll just have to get a real job and stop being a spoiled intellectual, in the sense that I belong to the intelligentsia, not that I am smart or anything. They definitely used it as an insult, or that my siblings put money aside for the kids. When I told them that the money they put aside is only 25k Canadian, or 19k USD, they told me that is the perfect amount for raising kids on. Eventually I clued in that arguing with them is useless, and started to only repeat one thing: you take them and then. No matter what they said, I countered it with you take them and then, sometimes adding on things like if it's selfish not to take them, you take them and then. This is part of what I was least proud of, as it was very immature of me. I'm sure they wanted to wear me down into accepting. Truthfully, it was you guys who gave me the idea, as well as told me to stand my ground, and for that I am grateful. Finally they raged out and told me I was disowned. Forget you are our son. Forget your family. We refuse to have such a monster in the family. Forget how to speak our language because it's not your country anymore. We will cut you out of every picture that has you in it. You will know what it means to be rejected by your family like you have rejected those children, etc. Last I heard there was plane tickets in the works to bring them to my parents. So I guess I am off the hook with them, so to speak. Honestly, I am done with the whole family, kids included. If they want to hate me over this, then I guess they hate me. Closer to home, things have been rough. I spent the time sorting out who I could still count as friends. The town itself I have completely written off. My car was a POS anyway, so people kept keying it and it didn't matter. I ended up moving as I was definitely no longer welcome here. Ultimately, I don't feel like I won or that I have a happy ending to share, even though things have ended and everything is resolved. So there is your update. I hope it is closure for those of you interested in how this ended up playing out. You're the idiot. The kids have nowhere to go and you're worried about your free time. They deserve a home and you are taking that away from them. You need to do some serious thinking and self-reflection, not the idiot. When you say you are immature for repeating the same words you take them in, you're not. This is called the broken record method, and it works wonders on people who constantly change their narrative, as your parents were doing. I'm sorry to hear all the problems you went through, but you managed them all. Things will get better. Should you have taken in the kids? Let me know in the comments. Now, AITA for calling off my wedding last minute. I recently got engaged to the man of my dreams in April 2019. Set to be married in September of 2020. Even before we got engaged, my fiancé and I agreed that we were going to keep it on the smaller side and only invite our close friends, family. Now, I have 4 other siblings that I'm not close to. I only talk to one and that's putting it lightly. I've chosen not to invite the remaining 3 and only invite the one that I speak to. My mother wasn't particularly pleased, but she understood at the time. We already went through bullshit with his side of the family due to the fact that I didn't want to invite everyone from his side of the family, which would be an additional 60 plus people to our list. My fiancé and I had already had a list of everyone he wanted to invite on his side of the family and mine. It was a huge thing where we eventually compromised on inviting a large portion. But not all. They essentially threatened to not help pay for the wedding, so I felt a bit bullied into giving in. Flash forward to the past few weeks. My mother has had a falling out with the one sibling I speak to and now wants me to invite one of the ones who I have literally no relationship with. I've told her no many times and to please be civil and respect my wishes. Today, she threw the fact that we are inviting my fiancé's family to the wedding, though it was a different scenario in my opinion, and said she isn't coming to the wedding unless I invite him. At this point, I'm over all of it. I haven't been able to enjoy being engaged because it's been family drama and I'm not even looking forward to planning the wedding. We have planned a large portion and most of everything has been paid for out of our pocket. I suggested we just cancel the damn thing and elope to my fiancé, and he agreed. Would I be the idiot to cancel it and just elope? Update, hello, all. It's been some time since I laid out all the bullshit my fiancé and I were dealing with in regards to planning our wedding and such. We were so overwhelmed with the immense response and support, so thank you to everyone who contributed and offered advice. Now, onto what happened. My fiancé and I talked it through, the pros and cons, etc. We both realized how unhappy we were with how things were going and decided that we were going to cancel the wedding and move forward with eloping. We decided that we didn't want it to be just us, but a small group of family and friends as well. We were both ecstatic, but also extremely worried at how our parents were going to take it, especially considering our guest list went from over 120 people to 20. But we were both committed and he decided to tell his parents and I would then tell mine. Surprisingly, his parents were so supportive and extremely ecstatic that we were getting eloped. They were even more excited when we let them know we wanted them there and they booked their flight soon after. They also handled telling their families and friends in Texas that we were eloping and to get over it. So, that saved us the trouble. His other family was very supportive and wished us the best. My father also was incredibly supportive and couldn't wait to be there. My mother, on the hand, was furious. The phone call to her started off calmly enough and I did let her know before beginning the conversation that she most likely wouldn't enjoy this. But I pressed forward. I told her our reasons, our stresses, how we felt disrespected and disregarding concerning everything. I laid it all out in a calm and collected manner. Once finished, she was very quiet and simply said, "All right." I knew immediately that I was pretty well fricked, but we ended the phone call with her stating she understood. Less than 24 hours later, she texts me asking if my brother, whom one of our biggest stressors was about, was invited. I was pissed because I had just had this conversation with her and explicitly told her who was invited and etc. I responded back with a simple no and that my father, grandmother and herself were invited. Well, poop hit the fan. She sent me a wall of texts, calling me all sorts of names, throwing my fiancé's family in my face and how we took their side, how I never truly gave a poop about her feelings, all the good stuff. I remained calm and before sending each response, consulted my fiancé as to not sound like a total witch. Long story short, she said unless my brother is invited, she won't be coming. So, I told her not to come. I was over it and stopped responding to her texts. For days she texted me, saying all the same as before and kept asking if my brother was invited. I responded once and told her that until she apologized, she won't. That I wouldn't be seeing or speaking to her about anything regarding the wedding. I offered an open seat to our wedding. Whether she shows or not is completely up to her. My fiance and I have already booked a small venue for our elopement and are more excited planning this than our previous wedding and are looking forward to our future. Not the idiot. Good for you. Unless your mother is entirely unreasonable, she might still come around once she realizes that this is actually happening, and her hysterics won't change your mind. The prospect of missing her daughter's wedding will hit home. And if she doesn't, that's unfortunate. But is that really the energy you want at your wedding? Not the idiot. But you didn't elope, you had a smaller wedding. The definition of eloping is to run away to secretly get married. You telling people just makes this a small wedding. Whatever, hope you and your husband are happy. Are they wrong for not inviting the brother? Let me know in the comments. Now, AITA for not allowing my sister near my bearded dragon after doing a TikTok trend with him. I, female, 18, have a bearded dragon named Phil who I have had for about 1 year now. Phil is deeply loved by me and my family. My sister, female, 15, who I will call Jane, really likes to make TikToks of Phil, which I have completely no problem with since they're normally just videos of Phil running around or doing something silly like opening his mouth when he basks. Yesterday my sister came up to me to show me a TikTok she had made of Phil. There is a trend on TikTok of putting butter on dogs as some audio plays over it of this guy saying butter dog. Well, Jane showed me a video of her putting some soft butter on Phil so that she could follow the trend. When I saw that, I became very upset. I had seen a video recently of someone explaining how doing this trend with bearded dragons can be dangerous cause the butter will stick to their skin, and if they get put back under their basking light the butter will heat up and basically burn the bearded dragon's skin. I told Jane to delete the video and that she can't do stuff like that with Phil, and quickly got him out from under his basking light that she had put him back under after the video, and started to bathe him in the tub to try and get off any of the butter she didn't wipe off. My sister came and told me I was overreacting and that it's just a fun trend. It snapped at her and told her I'm not letting her near Phil until she apologizes to me and promises to not do trends like these with Phil again, and asked me every time she wants to make a video with Phil. My sister got angry and told me she wasn't apologizing for just wanting to have fun with Phil and that I can't take Phil away from her. After I finished making sure all the butter was off, I put him back in his tank that's in my room and told her she's not allowed to come in and take Phil. My parents found out this morning and told me I was out of line for what I did and that it was just an innocent video. They told me I need to stop freaking out so much over things that involve Phil. My sister said she's not apologizing cause she didn't know it would hurt Phil, so I should get over it and let her see Phil again. I feel like I can't trust her with Phil though. If she hadn't shown me the video, Phil would have sat in his tank getting burned under his basking light, and I wouldn't even know until it was too late. I think I might be the idiot cause I could be overreacting like my family say I am, and for yelling at her when she didn't know that doing the trend would hurt Phil. So Reddit, am I the idiot here? Mini update. I'm just gonna answer a question I've been getting a lot. Yes, I did tell her and my parents why it was dangerous to put butter on his head. I'm gonna sit them down sometime today or tomorrow and try to explain to them today with evidence to show them why what my sister did wasn't just a fun trend but could have hurt or killed Phil. I also ordered a lock for his tank. Thank you everyone for the awards and support. I'm gonna be sitting down and reading all the new comments once I finish my online work update. So after my last post and getting all your feedback, I had ordered a lock for Phil's tank and put it on once I got it so that my sister couldn't just get him. I waited a bit to see if my sister would apologize, but she didn't. So I sat down both my parents and sister to go over again why I wasn't allowing her to see Phil and how what she did was not okay. I had made a slideshow and everything about how putting butter on bearded dragons was in fact not a harmless trend. I told her that I wasn't mad at her for doing it since she didn't know, but I was upset over how she reacted. It took a lot of explaining, and I even used some advice you guys gave me on how to best explain it, and after a lot of talking and a bit of arguing it seemed they finally all got it. My sister got upset and apologized to me for how she reacted and seemed genuinely upset after she realized what she did to Phil. My parents also apologized for not taking my side and scolding me for what rules I set in place. The lock is still staying on the tank just in case, but my sister is now allowed to see him and play with him if she asks me, and she's not allowed to make any more videos of Phil without me being there to watch. She seems a bit irritated about the rules, but she follows the rules. I also got her to take down the video off of TikTok, and she ended up making a video on how what she did was stupid and that to not do what she did, which I'm very pleased with. She has gone back to making her harmless videos of Phil just running and playing, and all is going well now. I also want to thank Reddit again for the advice and reassurance that what I was doing wasn't wrong, since I honestly was pretty lost at that time. Not the idiot. That is frustrating. You had to put in so much work just to make people understand that their actions could hurt a living thing. I am glad it all worked out for you though. You sound like a wonderful pet owner. Not the idiot. You may have saved Phil from future possibly dangerous videos, but you have also taught your sister a very valuable lesson in accountability. Her actions have consequences. May it be unknowingly hurting an animal or spreading a video that might inspire other kids to make the same mistake. She did an action and you gave a consequence. That's life.